Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, your Lord of Punishment. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
Your Lord of Pennies is here as well. Say hello, Satsu.
Hello, Satsu.
And I am your banished Lord of Pain, the Ranting Monkey. How are you guys today? How you doing, Satsu?
Not banished, so pretty good.
Scribbles, how you doing?
My brain has been melted by hiking pants.
You know what? Mine too, and I blame you, motherfucker. We'll get to that later. That video, man, that fucking video. If you guys haven't seen Scribe's video, bad, very bad. You should have watched it. But man, those people. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I had an okay day. I spent most of it in bed in pain.
Yeah. Oh wait.
Moonshock says I sound like I'm in a tunnel. Is that better?
Yeah, it's a little bit echoey, but I mean it's nothing horrible.
You know, I wonder if that is the that getting picked up. I'll fix that in just a second. Until then, sorry guys, you'll have to deal with this. Anything we want to talk about before we get into news stuff?
Outside of you having a mic that's too good now.
Shut up.
I don't know.
Yes, guys, I did get banished on the Twitter again. I'm going to, throughout the night, throw my new Twitter link in there. My cousin's Twitter link. If you want to follow me for the next 7 days, that's how you do it. Fucking assholes. What else? We are playing 7 Days to Die tonight after the show over on 2 Cents Plus. Make sure you join us there. I don't think Sinatra's joining us tonight. He has stuff to do, but it'll still be me and Satsu out there killing the zombies and shit. What else? I think that's everything. So, Monkey Dick Jim Jones video game. No, fuck. I think these days I fuck it up more than I get it right. Let me try that one more time. You know, I always get Monkey Dick right. Monkey Dick Jim Jones movies, video games. Hit that like button, guys. That really does help us out in the algorithm while we're live. And share our stuff because YouTube doesn't do that. My last video with Disney fucking hitting it.
Yeah.
It's just the views on it suck because it was down for 2 whole days when it was new. You sons of bitches. So share everybody's stuff. Don't worry about that video because it's old now, but these gentlemen have newer stuff out. Share that stuff because it really does help us. And with that out of the way, Scribbles, what's in the news today?
Practically nothing.
Beautiful. That's what I wanted to hear.
I've got 2 stories. I can sum them up in very brief terms because honestly, unless we want to talk about the details of the shooting or what they discovered since then, there's not much that has happened today in the grand scheme of things.
You know what we can talk about real quick? Terry Diamandis, before the stream started, buy yourself a harmonica to play while you're in Twitter prison. Thank you so much. I did see that. I just, my memory. I apologize. Thank you for that. And just now, James Colley, thank you so much. After 10 days without phones or interweb, I have missed y'all. Even Scribe, LOL.
Even Scribe? Jesus Christ. Did you watch last night's show? You know what I put up with for this show? Good Christ.
Oh, by the way, Lady Monkey said she's been listening. She really enjoys that one. So,
yeah.
Pick something to talk about. I'm going to turn off this damn.
All right. Well, Queen Elizabeth is getting ready to greet President Trump. That is the top story on CNN right now. It says the headline is Queen Elizabeth set to feat Trump, F-E-T-E, as she has so many other U.S. presidents.
Wait, feed him?
F-E-T-E.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I'm like, what the fuck?
Not feat him.
Do I sound better?
That's why I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Yeah.
Okay. Feat, it means to like greet someone or have them as your guest, that kind of thing. The CNN's being fancy for some reason because I guess it's Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, he's allowed there now, I guess?
Yeah, that was the thing. Let's see if they mentioned that in here. I don't know. No, not really. Yeah, like I say, this is their top story. Queen Elizabeth II has met with nearly every American president since Dwight Eisenhower during her more than 67 years on the throne. Next week, she'll welcome President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump back to the United Kingdom, this time for a rare state visit. Though the Trumps and the royal family are expected to adhere to the highest levels of protocol during the visit, Trump's remarks ahead of the trip threatened to damage goodwill with the Queen. He publicly insulted her grandson's wife on the eve of the visit. He did.
What did he say about her?
Well, let's go to that story. Trump on Meghan Markle. I didn't know that she was nasty, unquote.
Oh, hang on real quick. James Colley, thank you so much. No, Scribe. Just got phone and interwebs back today. Was Drunkle on? Oh, you missed it, James.
Was Drunkle on?
James, Ghost Poo was on. We actually finally crossed the streams last night. Terry Diamandis, thank you so much. 67 years on the throne. I bet that was the last time she ate Mexican food. God damn it. God damn you. Well played.
Yeah, so let's see. I'm going to read this one about Trump insulting Meghan Markle. President Donald Trump set the stage for his upcoming visit to the United Kingdom, Ireland, and France next week during a wide-ranging interview with the British newspaper The Sun, weighing in on... You have to put a hyphen there on weighing in. Person who wrote this. It took two authors to write this article. Okay, Megan Vasquez and Luke McGee both wrote it, and they both fucked it up.
Megan Vasquez, she hates Trump.
Does she? I don't even know who she is.
She does. She's one of the ones who always does the fact checks after any of his speeches.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Weighing in on everything from outgoing UK Prime Minister Theresa May's handling of Brexit to the contenders vying to replace her to Meghan Markle's dislike of his politics. May will formally step down as Conservative Party leader after Trump visits on June 7th. Trump, during his Oval Office interview with The Sun, published Friday, criticized May's efforts on Brexit, saying he thinks, quote, the UK allowed the European Union to have all the cards, unquote. Quote, I had mentioned to Theresa that you have got to build up your ammunition. I am sure that you could have built up a big advantage for your side and negotiated from strength, he said. And it is very hard to play well when one side has all the advantage, he continued. They had nothing to lose. They didn't give the European Union anything to lose. All right, what about the whole Meghan Markle thing? Here, let me do a little quick find so I can find this thing. Okay. During his interview with The Sun, Trump was confronted by comments made by Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, ahead of the 2016 election. Speaking on The Nightly Show with Larry Wilmore in 2016, Markle called Trump misogynistic and said his politics are divisive, saying she would move to Canada if he won the presidency. Well, she didn't do that. Trump responded, quote, I didn't know that she was nasty. I hope she is okay.
So they immediately misled you as soon as you read the title of the article.
Well, right after that, he says, I am sure she will go excellently as a royal. She will be very good. Okay.
So she trash talked him. It was brought to his attention that she trash talked him, and his response was that. And they're like, Trump badmouths her, and this is setting the stage for blah. I'm like, what?
This is what's wrong with our media.
Yeah, this is the issue right here.
Scribbles, can you send me that article?
Yes, I can. 1 second.
By the way, I sent you one. I don't know if you have it on your news lineup, but I thought you might be interested in that one.
Okay, well, here, let me send. I'll put this one in the chat for those that want to look at that. And then did you DM it to me or something?
Yeah, it's in our DMs.
How did you do that? I thought, you're banned.
My cousin did it. I sent it to him real fast.
Oh, is this that Castro guy? No, Samuel Little.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, I thought it might pique your interest.
You don't think much of me, do you?
I think you like serial killer stories.
Okay, we'll get to that shortly. How about the world's biggest loser?
Oh, a story about me? Cool.
Double trouble at French Open for Serena Williams and Naomi Osaka as record-breaking bid ends.
Uh-oh.
Serena Williams' bid for a record 24th Grand Slam title ended on Saturday when she was ousted from the French Open in the third round by her U.S. compatriot Sophia Kenin.
Aww.
The 6-2, 7-5 loss came as a shock as Williams hasn't departed this early from a major tournament in 5 years. Quote, I feel like she, in that first set in particular, hit pretty much inches from the line, and I haven't played anyone like that in a long time, Williams told reporters. Williams' exit from the Open followed another shock earlier in the day when newcomer Naomi Osaka, who surged during the last two major tournaments, lost 6-4, 6-2 to Katerina Siniakova of the Czech Republic. The check is in the mail. No, that doesn't make any sense anyway. Yeah, Serena Williams lost. Oh no, was it racism and sexism this time?
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, no, sure it was fair and square. It wasn't a call. It was that she just got trounced. So, yeah, she's got nothing to complain about now.
Oh, so when her coach isn't cheating, then she does worse, huh? Even worse. That she got her ass whipped, man.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Well, Monkey seems to think I like people who kill people. I don't know why that is, but right.
Yeah, we have serial killer or Jim Jones in the top because you don't like him at all.
He wasn't a serial killer. He was a suicide cult leader.
All right, cult leader.
He might have been a mass killer. A serial killer does it over the course of time. Jones did it in one fell swoop, kind of.
Let me ask you, how many books have you read on serial killers?
A lot.
So, maybe I just know you.
Let's see. Okay, I read the one on the Zodiac. Read the one on Randy Kraft. Read the one on Ted Bundy. Read the one on the original. No, not the original Night Stalker. The Richard Ramirez Night Stalker. There's a couple of books on guys who I can't name right now. And then
okay, I'm confused. Are you refuting the claim or are you supporting it?
Exactly.
Sure. Anyway, admitted serial killer Samuel Little charged with murder of more women in Ohio. The man who may be the most prolific serial killer in U.S. history, I think he's beat by a couple of nurses out there and Ted Bundy and maybe Randy Kraft, is facing new charges for two of his victims in Ohio. Samuel Little was indicted Friday in Cuyahoga County, Ohio, for killing two women in Cleveland. The 78-year-old is already serving 4 life sentences, 1 for murder in Texas, where he is locked up, and 3 for slayings in California. Both victims, Mary Jo Payton in 1984 and Rose Evans in 1991, were strangled and dumped in poor neighborhoods in the city that Little described to investigators as raggedy. He is charged with 4 counts of aggravated murder and 6 counts of kidnapping. Little confessed to killing another Cleveland woman in 77 or 78. Authorities are still working on that. The FBI in April released a series of sketches Little did of his victim. He has confessed to killing 93 women across the country.
Damn. 93?
Well, hold on. Confessing to, and there actually being evidence for, with serial killers are 2 completely different things. Just saying.
Thank you, Cryptic. Serial killers? They finally caught that Trix rabbit.
Yeah, I mean, Otis Toole, I think it was. Was it Otis Toole or was it the other guy? Anyway, Henry Lucas. Henry Lucas confessed to like killing 300 women. And because they had proof that he killed several women, they took him seriously. And so he just kind of rattled off stuff. And they spent years chasing their tails trying to prove this, but he's lying out of his ass most of the time. There are guys out there who provably, or at least with good certainty, have done more than this guy did. So yeah, it's not a race, but there are some guys out there who do try to outdo their competition, so to speak.
Sure.
Anyway, honestly, guys, unless something else has happened, that is really the biggest news, unless you want to go over details of the shooting or Frank Lucas died, the gangster who was portrayed by Denzel Washington in American Gangster. He died.
Thank you, James Colley. Thought it was Toucan Sam. We're going to have a bunch of serial jokes now.
Yay!
Do we have an updated death toll on Virginia Beach?
Let's see. I think it was at 11. No, 12 people have now died.
Damn.
So four wounded, 12 dead. I don't know if that includes the killer or not. No, I guess that doesn't include him. So it's 13 dead, including the killer, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he's dead. So
I did watch a video where the police department were saying we haven't announced the guy's name yet because we still haven't contacted all of his family. But once we do, we will mention it only once and never again.
Oh,
it was one of those things.
Yeah, they did release his name earlier today.
Yeah,
I saw it. Yeah, and
I see it right now. I don't give a shit. Whatever.
Yeah, don't care about his name. Fuck you. Disgruntled employee from what they're saying. Go fuck yourself, dude.
Yeah.
Well then.
Yeah, no, sorry guys. I honestly there's not much going on today. I mean, in a way, yay, it's a slow news day. Nothing terrible happened, but for the sake of entertainment, not much here. So maybe our viewers will help us out in that regard.
Thank you, Chicago Mike. Monkey, you want my $2? Please. I'm happy to take it. I appreciate it. Remember, guys, I'm in Twitter jail. I need cigarette money and soap money. What else do you have to buy in prison? I've never been to jail.
You have to buy protection. So like ramen goes for a lot there.
Yeah, man. I need ramen money for prison. I can't believe I'm in fucking Twitter jail. We'll talk about that later. You want to move on to MSS News then early? And we can get some extra ones in?
Sure. As long as my talking voice lasts.
If you need a break, you say something. I'll be happy I'll be happy to misread things for our audience. Thank you, Cryptic. The killer got away due to his lucky charms.
Oh.
The serial jokes keep coming. Guys, if there's a story you'd like us to take a look at, hit us up at the hashtag MSS News over on the Twitter machine. We can't get to them all, but that's just because I'm in Twitter jail. Scribbles?
Let's see. This one comes from Massive Dynamics. I guess this is a sweet story, sort of a saddish story. Go ahead.
Thank you, tall person. Serial killer. Did Waldo the Wizard go insane?
Waldo the Wizard. Is that a mascot I'm not aware of?
I'm not sure who Waldo the Wizard is. I'm looking it up right now.
Might be some kind of British or Australian guy or something.
Is that a cereal over there?
I don't know. I'm just guessing Waldo the Wizard.
Oh, he's Lucky Charms somewhere else.
Oh, the old Lucky Charms guy, maybe.
Yeah. This looks very old.
Before they started using Irish stereotypes. Let's see. Florida man spends his off days cleaning veterans' headstones.
Good for him. Hey, Florida man finally did something nice.
I was about to say, this is a good story.
Well, I mean, it's good in the sense that, someone is doing a public service to a certain extent. A North Florida mailman spends his Sundays cleaning veterans' headstones at rundown cemeteries. On Memorial Day weekend, 60-year-old Clarence Hollowell was at the Old City Cemetery in Springfield near Jacksonville. Here he cleaned the headstones of Captain S.L. Tibbetts and First Lieutenant Joseph H. Huau, H-U-A-U. Once he finishes, he writes their names on a sheet of paper and does some detective work to learn about them. Hallowell tells the Florida Times-Union he comes from a military family and served in the U.S. Army. He says cleaning veterans' graves helps the community and gives him a project. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks to clean the headstones. Hallowell says he's cleaned some 600 graves using a plastic scraper, a soft bristle brush, and a special solution he orders online. Well,
good
on him.
That's nice.
Good on him. Moving on. Who likes drugs?
I like my drugs. I don't want to like them, but without them, I'm miserable. So
this one comes from Quinn Harrison. North Carolina police bust drug ring, seize. Okay, how many pounds of cocaine do you think they seized?
Pounds of cocaine? Jesus. I want to say 100.
All right, Satsu.
2,000.
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, monkey's closest without going over. 243 pounds of cocaine.
Fuck.
7 pounds of pot, and a golf cart in an operation that was, quote, like a well-oiled machine.
Non-Vitae Rex, thank you. Who's the second biggest guy in Twitter jail? Whoever it is, you got to knock him out your first day.
Oh, yeah.
I took care of that bitch.
Authorities in North Carolina have seized 243 pounds of cocaine worth more than $3 million linked to the notorious Sinaloa cartel in Mexico. Operation Smooth Operator saw officers confiscate $1,325,000 in cash, 12 vehicles, guns, a motorcycle, and even a golf cart. 7 pounds of marijuana were also seized.
That almost seems irrelevant.
The Alamance Narcotics Enforcement Team, the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, and the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration had worked together on the case for 17 months. The drugs were distributed through Alamance County and surrounding areas from major drug traffickers, including the Sinaloa cartel and other local dealers. The cocaine was shipped in pipes, like PVC pipes kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
Alamance County Sheriff Terry Johnson said the drug trade route came up across the southern borders. Well, if it's from the Sinaloa cartel, thanks. Quote, I am very proud to say these individuals that worked this particular operation was like a well-oiled machine, he said in a press conference. More than 100 officers took part in rounding up 12 of the 28 alleged culprits. A total of 25 were arrested, but 4 are on the run. The cocaine was valued at $3,685,000.
Real quick, thank you, Dark Shade. Just finished your 99% fluff TED Talk video, Scribe. Yeah, we'll get that.
Hey, the fluff is the fluff is the meat of that thing. I'll explain it.
And Joel McLaughlin, thank you so much. Free money to Free Monkey. I appreciate that. Fucking bastards. Fight the power. And James Colley, thank you. And a partridge in a pear tree. Yeah. The pot in that story almost seems like it's not worth mentioning.
Yeah, 7 pounds. Like, well, yeah, next to 243 fucking pounds of cocaine.
Oh, Sinatra says that video was fantastic. It was. It was a good video. I still want to punch you in the nuts for it, but
hey, my pain is my audience's pain. What can I tell you?
And Cryptic, thank you. To be the serial killer, he lost his Fruit Loops. To be a serial killer.
Okay.
You know, in most stories, if I heard somebody was caught with 7 pounds of pot, I'd be like, damn. But when you're carrying around more than me worth of cocaine, but don't worry, guys. No problem along the southern border.
North Carolina's southern border.
Well, I guarantee it's coming up. What is it? 95. That's probably that's the drug. They know it comes up through there. Comes up through fucking. Anyway.
This one comes from Frosted Glass. It's a Slate.com article. Ooh, I feel so fancy. Ocasio-Cortez, federal tipped minimum wage of $2.13 is indentured servitude.
The fuck it? Oh, God.
Okay. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was back behind a bar Friday night as she mixed drinks at the Queensboro restaurant in Queens.
Time out. Okay. Did you guys see any of the video of her doing that?
A little bit. I just saw her shaking a drink up. That's about it.
If you saw her pour wine or pour any of the other drinks, she's a bad bartender. She's pouring wine like you would pour, like Coyote Ugly would pour whiskey. She's got the bottle way up above the glass and shit. I'm like, that is not how you pour wine. I don't even drink fucking wine, and I know that. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Let's see. Restaurant in Queens to support a campaign to increase the federal minimum wage. Quote, I've always got my backup job, she joked. I've still got it. The 29-year-old freshman lawmaker specifically advocated for workers who must rely on tips to get a decent wage. Quote, I was nervous that I may have lost my touch. Still got it. That muscle memory doesn't quit. The vast majority of states allow employers to pay workers below the federal minimum wage. Federal minimum age, as Slate has put it, if they can make up the difference in tips. Quote, any job that pays $2.13 an hour is not a job. It's indentured servitude, Ocasio-Cortez said. All labor has dignity, and the way that we give labor dignity is by paying people the respect and the value that they are worth. That is why, she argued, the national minimum wage must increase to $15 an hour. It is particularly important to guarantee a minimum wage to workers in cities with a high cost of living, Ocasio-Cortez argued. When our rents are running away, when our food costs are running away in dense cities like New York, Chicago, San Francisco, we need to make sure that people are paid enough to live, period, she said. And the rents will rise commensurate to the increase, and it'll be right back to where it was.
We don't need to do it federally, and there's a good reason not to do it federally. She just said, in cities with high cost of living, those cities can impose their own minimum wages. There's cities that do that.
Yep.
And there's no reason to do it federally and screw everybody across the country because it costs a shitload to live in San Francisco.
I feel like you can't say we should pay people what they're worth definitively and then immediately after say that it should be $15 an hour.
Right.
Because working anywhere, I know that there are hella fucking employees ain't worth $15 an hour.
And some who are worth a shit ton more.
Yeah.
And they're I've had people come work for me and they were the hardest working people right off the bat.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, you're only worth this. You're only worth this. No, that cost of living thing, that's the part she keeps missing. And all of these idiots keep missing. If you work like where I live, if you work at a McDonald's here and you're making I believe the local McDonald's, they start people over $10 an hour. That is more than enough for where we live. Now, if you're working at McDonald's in Seattle, no, $10 ain't gonna cut it. But that's up to the cities.
Let's see. This one comes from Peter Stewart.
But federal government knows best, guys.
Man who impersonated Saudi prince in order to steal gets 18 years.
Ouch.
Let's see. Miami, a man who repeatedly impersonated Saudi royals to con investors and live a lavish lifestyle has been sentenced to 18 years in prison for a ruse that fell apart when a victim saw him eating pork.
Are you kidding?
That'll do it. Anthony Gignac, Gignac, 48, received the sentence Friday in Miami for stealing at least $8 million while pretending to be Sultan bin Khalid Al Saud. He bought a Ferrari, Rolex watches, and rented a condo on an exclusive South Florida island with his loot. He pleaded guilty in March to wire fraud, impersonating a diplomat, and other crimes. The Miami Herald reports that U.S. District Judge Cecilia Altanaga called him a mastermind. Prosecutors said it was at least the 11th time Gignac, 48, you already said that, had been arrested for impersonating a Saudi prince. The 11th time? Okay. How many times do you need to be arrested for impersonating a Saudi prince?
Look, man, you've robbed people. What was it, $8 million?
Yeah, $8 million. At least $8 million.
And you can't hold off on the bacon for just a little while, do that shit in private?
Gignac, I know I'm probably mispronouncing it, but that's how it's spelled, was born in Colombia, but was adopted by a Michigan family as a young child. He is an American citizen. He told the district judge on Friday that while he accepted responsibility, other people were involved and should have been charged. I am not a monster, he said.
You stole $8 million from people. Come on.
According to the Los Angeles Times, Gignac stole more than $10,000 from a limo company and the Beverly Wilshire Hotel in 1991. He pleaded no contest. The New York Times reports that in 2006, Gignac pleaded guilty to charging $28,000 at Saks Fifth Avenue and Neiman Marcus to the account of a Saudi royal. He also tried to withdraw nearly $4 million from a Citibank account that didn't exist.
Nice.
Jesus Christ. In Gignac's latest scam, he and now dead business partner Carl Williamson created a fraudulent investment company, Martin Williamson International, in 2015. They told investors that Gignac was Saudi royalty and that he had access to exclusive deals. A Swiss victim invested $5 million.
Wow.
Oh, God. Yeah, if anybody tells you they've got exclusive deals or has a secret bank account, or run to the hills.
If somebody tells you they're a Saudi prince, look it up.
Yeah. Also, I've noticed something. There's been several stories aside from serial killer stuff, another slice of crime that I find fascinating is high stakes white collar crime, like Ponzi schemes and things like that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's just me, but if you ever see a financial investment company somewhere in its name with the word Fairfield, stay away. I don't know what it is, but I've heard quite a few fake companies or scam companies that have name like the one that Bernie Madoff worked was Fairfield Greenwich. And there's at least 2 or 3 other such investment companies that somewhere in their long name have the word Fairfield in there. I don't know what that is, but that seems to be a trend. So just be wary of anything with Fairfield in the name.
Going back to the last story, P-Dog Knight said when he was a bartender in the 80s, I made on average $30 an hour in tips alone, mostly in cash, which we barely claimed. I would love to I'd love to have somebody ask Ocasio-Cortez if she claimed all of her tips every time she got them.
There you go. Let's see. This one comes from Princess Unicorn Nipples. Parrot trapped on roof keeps telling fire crew to fuck off.
I want that bird.
Firefighters are risking their own life to save ours, and there are not only humans they're helping, but animals as well. And while we are so grateful for their great job, we can't say the same for some animals they've rescued. Who wrote this? This is fucking bad. While trapped on a roof, Jessie, a macaw parrot, didn't DID apostrophe T. DID apostrophe T. Didn't have the best opinion about the rescue team sent to rescue her. And she expressed her thoughts by using some words just as colorful as its plumage is. Why did you say she? You already... Anyway. The rescue team received some instructions from the bird's owner. He told them to say, "I love you," to try to better bond with the parrot. However, it seems Jessie doesn't wanted. It seems Jessie doesn't wanted to share the same feelings. In response, she wished their recruiter to fuck off. Okay, they eventually got her off the roof, and I can't read this person's writing anymore. Ay, caramba. Oh, here's some good news. Jesus. I thought there wasn't any news today. This one comes from Tall Person. Although this is from something called the USSA News, the Tea Party's front page. So you'll forgive me if I'm wary of this, but the headline is, "Bubonic plague likely already present in Los Angeles, Dr. Drew says."
Okay.
Los Angeles is going down the drain. The city, with a population topping 4 million and a broader metropolitan area with many millions more, is awash in massive problems, overcrowding, lack of housing, and a high demand for free services among them. But other far more serious problems are lurking, Dr. Drew Pinsky said on Thursday. Quote, "We have a complete breakdown of the basic needs of civilization in Los Angeles right now," Pinsky told Fox News host Laura Ingraham. "We have the 3 prongs of airborne disease. Tuberculosis is exploding, rodent-borne. We are one of the only cities in the country that doesn't have a rodent control program, and sanitation has broken down." Pinsky said bubonic plague, also known as the Black Death, a pandemic that killed off millions in the 14th century, is quote-unquote likely already present in Los Angeles. The plague is spread by infected fleas and exposure to bodily fluids from a dead plague-infected animal, with the bacteria entering through the skin and traveling to lymph nodes. This goes on for quite a while. Apparently, Los Angeles is a pit of disease and despair right now.
Okay, I know we joke a lot about, getting a bunch of pickaxes and just doing the deed that needs to be done, but now it might be serious.
Well, yeah, they did find plague in cats, or a cat. Yeah, this You know what? This is what happens when you have shit-infested streets.
Well, they're
Clean
talking about
your
Los
shit.
Angeles, not San Francisco.
I know.
I don't know what's going on in Los Angeles. Maybe the same things happen in Los Angeles. I don't know.
I can't imagine it's a lot better. I mean, San Francisco had a lot bigger problem with the massive homelessness and being a sanctuary city, drawing in illegals to just make their homeless population fucking explode.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's how this shit is passed on.
Let's see. This one comes from Chicago Mike. Woman poses as sheriff's deputy and releases boyfriend from jail.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
A woman from Arkansas. Well, I will tell you. A woman from Arkansas now will spend time behind bars after she posed as a California sheriff's deputy to get her boyfriend out of jail. Maxine Feldstein has been sentenced to 15 years in prison after she pleaded guilty to forgery, third-degree escape, and second-degree criminal impersonation. Feldstein gave fake paperwork to Washington County Detention Center last July. Jailers thought the paperwork was real and released Nicholas Lowe. Lowe, according to court documents, told Feldstein to pretend she was a deputy from Ventura County Sheriff's Office. He told Feldstein to tell Washington County officials California was, quote, having issues with overcrowding and all low-priority extraditions have been suspended, the court documents stated. Feldstein, who had bonded out of jail hours before, called the Washington County Jail, saying she was Ventura County Deputy L. Kershaw. Officials realized 2 days later they had been duped when a real Ventura County deputy called to pick up Lowe. Law enforcement arrested the couple about a month later. Lowe also pleaded guilty to third-degree escape and was sentenced to 1 year in prison, but was given credit for 167 days served. He will have a 5-year suspended sentence once he's released by the Arkansas Department of Correction. And his girlfriend's in prison for 15 fucking years. Good job, girl.
Real quick over on the on the super chats. Non-Vitae Rex, thank you so much. This is why we need free healthcare, guys. Talking about the last one, I'm sure, not this one. And Cryptic bought me a noodles tea. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
A noodles tea.
Yeah, I made that t-shirt, the Send Nudes t-shirt that I made.
Oh,
let's see.
Before we move on, how long was he in jail for?
I didn't say prior to that, so I don't know.
Total. I mean, what's coming out? He's got less than her, though, right?
He's got 5 years probation and 1 year for escape or something.
Wow, that's fucked up. Women's, don't do stupid shit for your men.
And we've cycled back to stories from yesterday, so I will scroll back up to the top. See if anything's changed.
Go ahead while you're doing that. You see a lot of these kind of stories where women will do something stupid for their man. Speaking of serial killers, my wife had a book about some serial killer. I forget what his name was, but his girlfriend helped him out with all of it. She didn't want to go along with it at first, but he finally talked her into it, and he would procure girls for him to rape and kill.
Oh, was it like Carla Homolka?
I couldn't tell you the name. It's been a while since I read it.
Yeah, there's been a few. There's a series I think you can find episodes on YouTube. It's called there's Couples Who Kill or Deadly Attraction. There's a couple of things like that. So sort of those little popcorn crime summary shows and reenactment deals. There's actually several instances where somebody's talked their girlfriend into gathering up people for them. There's also the Moors murders from Britain. That was another one where you had a couple who were killing kids and shit.
Poppy says we all do stupid shit for our men. You know what? The dumbest thing you should do for a man is butt stuff. That's it. That's as dumb as it should get.
Let's see. Well, scrolling back up, we'll do another one from Frosted Glass. A Guardian article. Sure, why not? Online sewing community at war over cultural appropriation.
What?
Last week, popular fashion pattern maker Paper Cut Patterns posted a short video on Instagram of one of their patterns being reprinted. The clip was just long enough to see the name of the pattern, the Kochi jacket, passing through the rollers. 3 weeks ago, that pattern had a different name. The square-cut short jacket with optional side ties was released in June 2017 with the name Kochi Kimono. For 18 months, amateur sewers most prefer the term sewist for reasons of homonym.
Sewist?
Sewist? It could be, well, because
All right.
sewers is spelled the same as sewers.
All right, sewist.
Yeah. Had been making their own versions and sharing the results on Instagram tagged with Kochi Kimono. Then, on May 13th, Japanese-American woman Emi Ito replied to a new photo of the garment to say that to call it a kimono, without any connection beyond a certain boxiness about the sleeves, was cultural appropriation. The post blew up! Those who agreed with Ito were accused of conducting a witch hunt against a female-owned company. Those who rejected it were accused of racism. Oh, nobody can win! No!
So it's sexism versus racism.
Either way, you're a loser. The debate spread rapidly through Instagram stories, an ephemeral medium that allows users to post photos and videos of up to 15 seconds in length in short, ever-scrolling clips that will disappear after 24 hours. It was waged in long, impossible-to-follow comment threads under Instagram posts until Papercut Patterns deleted the post and closed comments on subsequent posts, sparking another wave of criticism. The same failings that made Instagram a difficult platform for lengthy debate made it the perfect vehicle for outrage.
Well, I mean, in this specific instance, taking something that is cultural or supposed to be cultural and taking something that you created and calling it that thing, even though it's not, it's questionable at best. It's like, why would you do that? It's not that. You can't just call it that. But calm down, people. It's fine.
Well, it looks. I mean, if you just looked at it from like the neck down to the waist, it does look like a kimono design. It's just like a half kimono.
Right.
That's all. It's just like a top. It's like turning a kimono into a top, which is kind of weird. But hey, if it works for you, whatever.
Yeah, and like I said, I can see culturally people who actually know the significance and people who wear it or whatever. They're like, that's kind of. But it's like, so what? It's fine. It's not. It's fine. It's okay. Nobody was harmed.
One woman complained and everything fell apart.
Right.
I see what you're saying there, Satsu, but if a Japanese designer makes a T-shirt, do we blast them for cultural appropriation? Yep. That ain't Japanese.
Nope. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the whole concept itself is ridiculous because, especially if we're talking about these stories taking place in America, the melting pot where nothing is fucking fully authentic anymore at this point.
Sure.
Everything is mixed up. So it's a ridiculous argument to have, and I'm tired of hearing it.
Yeah, we can't have a melting pot of ideas, but yay, diversity and inclusion. So which is it? I don't know. Let's see. What else didn't I cover? Anything from yesterday I didn't cover. Okay, how about this one? Another one from Frosted Glass sent us a whole bunch of stories, guys. So, Think Progress posts this one. Transgender women challenge Pennsylvania law that doesn't allow name change. What if you get married or something? Can you still change your name for that? The inability to change their names has majorly disrupted their lives. Majorly disrupted their It sounds so Valley Girl the way that sounds.
Real quick, let me get this before you go on. Connor Johnson, thank you so much. I got a new car today. It's a 2004 Toyota Corolla. Cool. Congratulations.
Why is it only trans women have a problem with this?
Well, I don't know. 3 trans women have filed a lawsuit that challenges a provision of Pennsylvania's name change law that doesn't allow people convicted of some felonies, such as aggravated assault, to change their names.
That is not what they said at first.
That is not what they said.
This is Okay, this has nothing to do with them being transgender, does it?
No.
Alonda Talley, Shanti Monique Porter, and Priscilla Renee Von Noker are working with the Transgender Legal Defense and Education Fund and the law firm Reed Smith, which is working on the case pro bono, to build a constitutional challenge. They filed a lawsuit Wednesday to have the court declare this provision of the law unconstitutional and to enjoin the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania from enforcing it. The amendment to the law on name changes went into effect in 1998 and was designed to prevent fraud, such as to circumvent financial obligations, according to the Philadelphia Inquirer. The women's complaint argues that under the Pennsylvania Constitution, it is a fundamental right to control your name. Quote, the Pennsylvania Constitution does not allow for a system under which a person has no opportunity to show that they are seeking a name change for non-fraudulent purpose, such as to reflect a gender transition, and a court has no opportunity to decide whether the petitioner is seeking a name change for non-fraudulent purpose, the complainants argue.
From what they said of the law, it has nothing to do with fraudulent purpose. It's if you've been convicted of a felony, no, you can't do it.
Exactly.
Anybody.
As a result of not being able to change their names, the women say they suffer harassment and are prevented from getting the health care they need.
What? How?
Porter was convicted of aggravated assault in 2008. As a result of her not being able to change her name, she said she has experienced abuse, harassment, and humiliation from police, employers, co-workers, and service providers such as bank employees, the lawsuit explains. She said in 2017, doctors told her she didn't qualify for a transition-related surgery because her current legal name is evidence of her not, quote, living as a woman, unquote.
Okay, that's ridiculous, but all the other shit is like, what?
Faithless, thank you. Citation needed. Your doctor said you couldn't have that the way you looked and have looked for a while apparently is not proof, but your name that you legally can't change is not. Yeah, can we get an X to doubt, y'all? X to doubt.
The women also described incidents such as being forced to go into offices in person for finances and other tasks people can usually do over the phone due to the lack of a name change. I don't understand how that works.
Well, because they probably sound like they're like, I'm a woman, but you sound like a grown ass man. They we need to see you. I can get it, but don't commit crimes if you're going to be a transgender.
Lord,
that's fucked up. Yeah.
Well,
no, I'm not gonna say that, but still,
they are literally being treated like everyone else.
Yeah,
and I'm sorry. Go ahead, Satsu.
Yeah, it's not direct because the way, like I said, the way the story read at first, it was just saying that they're just not allowed to change their names because they're trans, and then it's like if you committed a felony, but that makes sense because not only if you're transitioning, especially after you've committed a felony, you're changing your overall look and identity and your name on top of that. It's like it's much harder for them to keep track of you that way.
Wait. Tiberius Kirk says, if you have a felony, if it is more than 2 years from the end of your sentence, what, you can change it in the first 2 years, but not after?
That sounds weird.
That does sound like a weird stipulation.
I don't know. The whole constitutionality thing. I mean, there's plenty of laws in states where if you've been a felon, you can't own a gun. So you can't necessarily claim that, because it violates the Constitution, it's inherently bad. Well, we have a lot of different laws for people who are felons, like you can't vote, you can't own a gun.
Mm-hmm.
That's on the place. So that argument falls on its face to me. Now, the argument that I need to do something over the phone, but they don't believe I am Harold when I speak like I'm Jessica. That's the part that I have a hard time getting past, though, because, if that is and I understand why there'd be confusion, and it's completely understandable for somebody to be questioning that. But how do you get past that?
Well, she said it. You go down there in person.
Yeah, that's the way.
Yeah,
like, well, that's so inconvenient. It's like,
unless you're talking like the billing company or the company that runs the water and utilities in my apartment building. They're based out of Texas. I can't go physically to them and prove to them I am who I am. If I had a problem with my billing or something. So I don't know. I don't know what there's a solution to that, and I understand it's like, well, this has nothing to do with them being trans. They're not being discriminated against because they're transgender. They're being treated the same as anybody else would who's convicted of a felony like that. So
Yeah, and just think about how difficult security is, and kind of trying to get around fraud and shit like that with all of the information you do have like available to you. There's situations where people aren't trans and everything seems to be black and white, where it's still difficult to keep track of that shit.
Well, I just want to point out, we just read a story a little while ago about a guy who's been repeatedly convicted of impersonating someone.
Yeah, and a woman for that matter. Or, well, not repeatedly, but she impersonated somebody and
impersonated a cop. Yeah.
Yeah. So
there's reasons for the law, and I'm sorry. I'm sure it sucks with the phone thing, but seriously, how often does that happen to you? For the rest of it, I'm sorry, you committed a crime. This is part of what they do. It has nothing to do with you being trans. Stop playing that victim card. That's bullshit.
What I'm sick of, though, I'm sick of going into these stories with the headline and the first fucking paragraph saying one thing, and I'm just like, oh wow, the way this picture was painted, I have a certain view about this, and then by the second paragraph, I'm just like, wow, that is completely 100% different than what was presented.
Trump was being a dick. Actually, he said nice things about her. Yeah. And Scribbles, we can wrap up there. Guys, thank you so much.
Yep.
Thank you so much for the contributions over there. We really do appreciate it. You complete us. But that's going to move us on to the YouTube's time, which Satsu, did you do some YouTube stuff today?
Yes, I uploaded my unboxing of the care package that Cryptic sent me today, showing all the stuff that he sent me, and I also did a little shilling of the Send Nudes t-shirt because I thought it was very appropriate given the circumstances, because he did indeed send quite a few nudes. So go check out that video if you guys want to see a lot of the stuff that he brought. I didn't really go into explaining what everything was and it's just an unboxing because I will be doing individual videos for pretty much everything in there and like taste tests and stuff so I can show you guys my reviews and everything, and I'll get more in depth on what's in it and that type of stuff. So I'm excited. I think I'll start recording those tomorrow after I do my bacon pancake video. But lots of fucking videos coming out for you guys, like a lot of them. So get ready.
Dangerous. No, we haven't. I don't think. Did we talk about Vox and Crowder yesterday? I don't think we did. We'll get to that.
Crowder? No, I don't think so.
We'll get to that at fucketry time. And Faithless talking about those other stories. He says clickbait. Yeah, it's absolutely clickbait because you can still have a what's the word I'm looking for? Intriguing title without being fucking liars.
Yeah.
And several of those stories, those headlines were just fucking lies.
Misleading at best.
Yeah. If we're being extremely generous, yeah, then we can say misleading, but they were fucking lies. Let's see, what did I do? We had our game stream last night. Don't forget, guys, we'll have another one tonight. Come on over to 2 Cents Plus. We'll be playing 7 Days to Die. Sinatra, I see you in chat. Can you make it or not? Either way, we'll still be playing, guys. And then I did a Monkey in the Morning. And see, I got off the game stream last night, and that's when I found out about my Twitter jail. And I was kind of in a mood. And so I ranted about that for a little while. And then me and Jack, we just shot the shit, really. There's no, sometimes there's a topic I have in mind, but I just really didn't last night. It was just kind of chat night. And it was fun. I enjoyed it. Scribbles, you need kicked in the nuts. Tell them why.
So I came across this TEDx talk, as I want to do, that had the word pee in the title and 2 women on the thumbnail and talking about how they're trying to solve the problem of women peeing or something. And I was like, what? I don't think I'd ever seen a TEDx talk talking about bathroom things. So I was intrigued. And as soon as I got past the first minute or so, I was like, the outdoors are male, white, and ableist.
Ableist, that was my favorite part.
And I was just, I don't have any idea where this is going. So I'd only, up till this morning, I'd only watched the first like minute or 2 of the thing. And so this morning I sat down and I threw it all into my editing stuff, and I scripted as I watched it for the first time, which is what I do with a lot of the videos I do. And at the beginning, they were complaining about the fact that women have to go through all this rigmarole as compared to men in order to go wee-wee when they're in the outdoors. Men can just sort of undo their fly, whip it out, and take care of their business, whereas women have to go through all this finding a place to hide and hanging themselves out into space and yada, 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 and pulling their pants down. And so my first sort of musing about it was, okay, so this is going to turn into some kind of sales pitch, obviously, because they're stating a very sort of consumer-based problem. And I can only assume that they're going to offer a solution to this, which has to be some product. And so I said at the beginning, it's like, so what, like a pair of pants with a zipper in the back or one of those funnel things that make you be able to pee from the front? And then I continue with the video. And these guys go 1,000,000 fucking miles around that topic. They go from it's hard to pee in the woods to the pink tax to sexist, racist outdoors to completely obsolete legal terms for pants or legal conditions for pants. I mean, everywhere you can imagine except talking about this, whatever this product is, because the entire time I'm going like, there's a product here. And at a certain point, I cut out like a minute's worth of them just repeating the same complaint in different ways. It's tough being a woman peeing in the woods. But that didn't make a whole lot of difference because I didn't know where they were going. And so at every point I thought, there's got to be something I can cut out of this because they're just meandering towards wherever this is eventually going to get to. But their meanderings were so, I mean, tangential that I couldn't quite let them go. And so I sat there in wonderment as I'm scripting and watching and scripting and watching. And finally, they get to the conclusion where they finally offer their solution. And what is it? Well, you'll just have to watch the video to find out and join me in my torture because it was a fucking slog. But this is what happens, I guess, with TEDx. And I should know this by now, but this was a... And if anybody who watches it, Monkey had a theory that might be true, but if anybody who watches it can tell me why that graphic they put up on the screen at one point is so goddamn hilarious. Because that crowd was just yucking it up, and I am just oblivious to what the joke was. If you can tell me what that was, I don't know that I'll be grateful, but I might be a little less bewildered.
Yeah, I told you before the show, I was almost ready to kick you in the nuts, and I'll share with the audience why. These women, they go all over the fucking place. And I understand why you kept it all in there because it is all... You have to see where all they go to get to that ending, which, by the way, is like, are you fucking kidding me? But when they started bringing up women in Congress couldn't wear pants, I was like, the fuck does that have to do with the outdoors?
Until 1993, it was not allowed for women to wear pants on the Senate floor. Like, and are they peeing on the Senate floor?
It's not like they're having to, by the way, wearing a skirt on the Senate floor, I would imagine makes it easier to go pee.
Yeah, probably so.
Easier than pants for women, at least. But they also talked about how pants were designed by men. They're designed by men and they have little pockets. I was like, oh, my head.
Yeah, anatomy is sexist, guys. Just so you know, the fact that men can do X and women have to do Y means that they're being oppressed by their own anatomy. And
now,
yeah, anyway.
I have my own theory here.
Yes.
I don't think pants are the problem. I think this is nature's way of telling women not to go outside. They need to be inside. They need to be cooking. They need to be cleaning. They need to be taking care of the kids.
Oh, boy.
Stay inside, women's. It's better for you.
Nature commands it.
That's right. It's not me. It's nature that says so. That's not me.
You're welcome.
If you can't go outside, you can't vote. That's not my fault. No, but they even talk about, you know, they list off all these people who have problems going pee.
Yes.
And the one that made me laugh, dog walkers. Dog walkers.
I was like, emergency rescue personnel. I was like, what does that have? What? No, it doesn't matter what their career is. This affects women. If you're going to call it a problem for women, they can be a street sweeper or president of the United States. Well, if they're outdoors, it's the same. What does their career have to do with it?
The first woman who talked, I mean, I understood her point. She was in the fucking Arctic or something like that, and for the summer, seems a good place to spend your fucking summer. But she was there, and the male guides there, they could just whip it out wherever and pee, and she'd have to go find a secluded place and pull down all her layers. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm sure that's a problem. But then dog walkers, I'm like, can't they pee before they start? How long are they walking these goddamn dogs?
I mean, like I said in the video, they had what was probably a 3 to 4 minute elevator pitch for this product of theirs. They could have stated the problem just as they did at the beginning of the video and say, you know, here's an example of where this is an inconvenience. Here's our solution. It would have taken a couple of minutes to pitch it. But instead, they create a 12-minute, 21-second TEDx talk out of it by padding it with all this superfluous, non sequitur nonsense. And it just, I mean, like on the one hand, I was just frustrated. On the other hand, I was like, I am fascinated with where this is going to go next, how they can try to tie in the next nonsense with peeing in the woods. Anyway, I think I've oversold it just like they did their own thing. So there you go.
Oh yeah, it was something. And then that end. You guys got to stay till the end because so that brings us on to fucketry. Satsu, you got any fucketry today?
I have to look. The thing I was looking at was over on Facebook, but to be honest, I don't even remember what it was about.
Oh,
so
before
let me look that up real quick.
I'm sorry, I was going to do this before I started fucketry. Tiberius Kirk over on Twitter, he did some digging. He says, here's what I found. Individuals with a felony conviction may change their name if it's more than 2 years since the end of their sentence and if they're not on probation or parole. If they've been pardoned. Individuals convicted of violent crimes are not eligible, period. Okay. So don't be violent, dick. Anyway, Scribbles, you got some fucketry?
No, actually, I was spent all my morning doing video making, and then after that, I took a break for a couple hours just watching some TV. So not much. Except for last night, all of last night was my internet fucketry. And you guys want to see all of it? You can listen to it all. It's on my channel. It's the first crossing of the streams between us and Ghost Poo, and a lot of people seem to enjoy it. I'll just say that.
It was a good stream. I had a lot of fun. Dangerous Spaces says Vox versus Crowder. Sinatra brought up in the chat. He did talk about that last night. Just a brief rundown. I forget the asshole's name. I don't care.
Carlos Maza.
What is it?
Carlos Maza.
Carlos Maza, a
Vox, yeah,
writer and videographer, I guess. Vlogger.
I've done a handful of videos featuring Carlos from Vox.
Yeah, Crowder's done some videos on him and talked about him in his show. And Carlos went on a mental breakdown the other day about how horrible it was. How horrible. Did you guys realize that Crowder called him Mexican? Called him Mexican. He's from Mexico, y'all. But he called him Mexican. He also called him a lispy queer, according to Vox. I don't know if he actually did. I don't watch Crowder that often. I like Crowder, but I don't get a chance to watch him very often. But they've started a brigade against Crowder. I saw Sean, formerly of Sean and Jen. I wonder whatever happened to Jen. I bet she's buried in the yard. Out there also, like, everybody needs to go report Crowder for every violation he's ever made. Go fuck yourself, Sean. So that's going on. Crowder's a comedian who tells jokes. Good luck getting him taken off. Better men have tried. And he's got that half Asian lawyer who gets him back every time. Did you find any fucketry there, Satsu?
No, there was a video that my mom sent me about this dude arguing with his girlfriend on whether or not she should feed him first.
What?
When they eat. And he was like holding their 1-year-old child, and she was prepping to feed the baby, and he's like, no, you feed me first. And she's like, well,
dude,
the baby's hungry. And he's like, no, but that's how it's supposed to be. Like you feed the man or the head of the household first. And there was like this huge argument in the now basically what it seemed is to be kind of religious people versus non-religious people, because a lot of the people who are like, yes, you should do that, were coming from a religious standpoint where they're like, yeah, that's the Bible tells you that the head of the household eats first or some shit like that. I don't know if it's true, but that's what they were saying. And then there were some other kind of nuanced reasons on why people thought they should or whatever. And then there was like the other side where women were just like, you know, fuck that motherfucker. He could feed himself. Like, you know, you got to feed that dude first. So it was just kind of a, I don't know, I wouldn't say interesting. It was just seeing all the different opinions was kind of, because I thought it was going to be really black and white, but there was actually a bit of nuance in there. But yeah, if you're that fucking soft of a male where you're just like, you pouting like a fucking bitch because she's trying to feed your children before you, and you're like demanding that you need to eat first, then
in fairness, it does sound like he's the baby.
That's true.
Yeah, that is true.
What a bitch.
I mean, I don't know, man. It just seems weird. And then I'm like, the only argument I really kind of understood as for doing it, and she was like, you know, I'm a stay-at-home mom. My husband makes all the money. He pays all the bills. He does everything, like make sure that everything is fine. And I feel like, you know, that's the least that I can do for him. You know, when it's time to eat, I put his plate down first, just to let him know that, you know, I respect him and everything that he does. And I'm like, okay, I mean, that's fine, but that's your choice to do that. He's not demanding that you do it. That's a decision you made. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. But yeah, that was like I said, it was just a interesting kind of dialogue people were having online.
Jesse, yeah, that's how my family did. She said my family would be fed together and make our own plates. Yeah. Food would be put on the table and Dad would serve himself because he's a grown-ass man who knows how to work a fucking spatula, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I mean, that's Monkey, your angry cousin looks a lot like you. It's like that Patty Duke show. He has a big smile. He has a big smile where I don't. Yeah, guys.
Cousins, identical cousins.
My cousin is back over on Twitter because I've been banished again for 7 days this time for calling Sophie Turner a bimbo.
Oh no!
I called her a bimbo and they gave me 7 days. And it was for hateful conduct. That's the part that was like, are you out of your fucking mind? This is what it actually says. You may not promote violence against, threaten, or harass people on the basis of race, ethnicity, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, religious affiliation, age, disability, or serious disease.
Unless they're white.
I called her a bimbo.
That's gendered, Monkey.
Unless they're white. You forgot that part. It's in there. You just didn't see it.
Well, Sophie Turner is white.
Yes.
No, I'm saying, like, you can do all of those things. I mean, all of those things are not permitted unless the person you're doing it to is white, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but Sophie Turner's white, so it wasn't permitted.
What? Oh, shit.
You were calling her a child? That's fine. But here's the thing. This is the first time I've ever said anything to her. So the idea that I was harassing or threatening or what was the other one? I forget. None of that was happening. I called her a bimbo one time.
Yeah, he wasn't. He was calling her a bimbo, guys, not a bambino. There's a difference.
Snubber says, ironically, bimbo is common on Twitter as a fetish.
What?
I called her stupid. It's another name for calling her fucking stupid. because she was being fucking stupid. This is a woman, and this was all over her saying that she wouldn't act in Georgia because of the abortion law, when the bitch has acted in whole fucking countries that don't allow it at all. I think calling her a bimbo at that point is being actually kind of nice. And so I challenged it. And they came back and said, our team has looked at this. And no, we've decided that you were absolutely in the wrong.
Sure, they looked at it.
Are you out of your fucking mind? You let a guy on here threaten people, tell his audience to shoot people in red hats. And he didn't get any time off Twitter. But me calling her a bimbo is worth 7 days, you fucking silly bitches. That's what offends me the most is look, okay, you want to give me a slap? That's fine. All right. Give me. I only got 12 hours for calling somebody a dick, somebody that I had fucked with many, many times. But calling her a bimbo one time? No.
Well, you know, Twitter takes their core values very seriously. And they would never go against them.
And there's but there's a lot of people getting hit right now. So seriously, guys, if you're on the Twitter, be very careful what you say. There's some, I didn't follow them, but there was some meme account that just got absolutely banished. They are gone forever. What the hell was the name of that? I know, oh shit, that's way down in my mentions. I can't remember the name. But there's several people there. They're like, ooh, be careful what you're saying right now, because they're hitting a lot of people.
Yeah, what I was trying to say, Scribe, is if the targeted attack is the fact that they're white or some variation.
Okay. Okay.
Then it's fine.
That didn't make any sense. I was like, unless they're white, like what?
Yeah. So if it,
go ahead. No, you first.
Yeah. If you're going to offend somebody or talk shit about them, and that person is white, just target their whiteness, and you'll be okay. You won't get banned.
I see. Okay.
Thank you, James Colley. Monkey, you disrespected the Queen of the North. I know. How dare I? Silly bitch. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, you got to be shitting me. I've said so much worse. And that's what you hit me for? Bimbo? I used to tell the Krasensteins on occasion that they were stupid fucks. You are a dumb fuck. Never got hit for that. But bimbo, guys, that's too far. That is too far on the new Twitter. Be careful, because they haven't come out and announced any changes or anything. I haven't seen any. Usually there's a news release or something when we're going to crack down. There's been nothing about it. So at least until we see something like that, guys, be careful what you're saying over there. Don't get yourself banished on purpose. It's not worth it, especially if you're a YouTuber. Believe it or not, Twitter is very, very important to what you do. Maniac Man says, who the fuck is she? She plays Sansa Stark, or played Sansa Stark on Game of Thrones. She also plays Jean Grey in the new Dark Phoenix movie and in all of the recent X-Men films.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and she just got married to a Jonas brother, didn't she?
She did indeed.
Oh my God. How long do you think that'll last?
Oh, not long. She's a bimbo. She'll be under somebody quick. She'll find some director whose dick just is too tasty to ignore.
Monkey.
What? I'm on fucking YouTube. I can say what the fuck I want.
No, you can't.
I can. I can say that. YouTube allows me to insult people. That is in their rules. I can't harass people, and that's different. I'm not harassing.
Well, I mean, once again, under certain circumstances, yes, you can, but certain circumstances.
One insult one time ever is harassment and hateful conduct. Are you kidding? I wasn't even being hateful. I was calling her stupid because she was. James Colley, thank you. If Jack doesn't his cunt behavior, Monkey's gonna eat every fucking chicken in his home.
What?
James, I think you missed a word or two there. Help me out. You don't have to do another super chat. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much, but I want to read that how you meant it. and I feel like there's something missing there that I'm not getting. She wants a dick that's too tasty. That's not what I said. I said that she's gonna find one. Oh, he went to put something in there and then he retracted it. Stop. If Jack doesn't stop his cunt behavior, Monkey's gonna eat every fucking chicken in his home. He doesn't have chickens in his home. Jack has squirrels in his house. Poor Jack. He talks about how there's squirrels in his house, and he goes, sometimes you can hear him. And one night they must have been like right above him, and it sounded like he had upstairs neighbors throwing a party.
Oh, geez.
He has to order special traps to catch the little fuckers. The ones he orders give him a little shock. Oops. Yeah, somehow squirrels keep getting into his damn house. No, Jean Grey is my least favorite X-Men, but 2000s Jean Grey actress is better. Oh, yeah, the chick from the original films. Before they did the reboot by going back in time bullshit.
Oh, Famke Johnston.
Sure, whatever her name is.
Yep, that's her name.
Yeah, I never learned her name. I only know this bitch's name. I only learned her name because of this whole incident. I didn't know her fucking name, but there were stories all over. Sophie Turner is going to not work in Georgia anymore. Like, ain't that bitch been working in places where you can't have an abortion? But that's okay, y'all. It's okay to work in countries where you can't have an abortion. Just don't work in states because reasons. Because reasons. I know I saw some other fucketry. Oh, you know, I saw a video today, kind of like yours there, Satsu. It was this woman talking, just talking to the camera. And she used words I can't use here. Thank you, Jenna. She's a bimbo. I like Angry Monkey. Your cousin is fun. Thank you so much for the donation and the compliments, my cousin. I'll pass that along to him. She used a lot of words I can't use. She was a black woman talking about gentlemen who say that a woman who's just looking to be taken care of is a gold digger.
Gold digger.
Let me guess. They're not.
Well, her argument was that if a woman is going to stay home and take care of you in your house, then it's not really gold digging if she wants a man who can take care of her.
Well, barring some other facts to the situation, maybe.
Well, I mean, that would be like calling every 1950s wife a gold digger.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I don't know. It really depends. There's a bit more nuance. I feel like that's too simplistic.
Oh, I'll tell you right now. I think this chick was a gold digger.
Well, if you are just taking care of the house and the kids or whatever, and doing all the support at home, and y'all do normal couple shit like go out every now and then and do stuff or whatever, I feel like that's fine. But if the conditions to you doing that shit at home is you need to buy me a new purse and you need to buy me this and I want to get that and I need to, then I think that goes along the lines of gold digger territory. If it's conditional, not because I'm a loving mother and I like to take care of my family, but yeah, I do this shit because he buys me things. And if he stops buying me things, I'll stop doing this shit. I feel like that would be the difference.
Well, one of the arguments she made is that men are out there saying, I want a woman with this body type and this hair type, and she has to sound like this. And you have to meet all of his expectations. But all you're saying is, I want a motherfucker who can support me. Then he's really being the picky one.
I don't know. It depends, because there are dudes out there who are more than happy to support a woman in that way. Like if
Sure.
a chick wants to be a gold digger, there's hella fucking dudes out there who got money to blow who will be like, yeah, I'll buy you everything you want. Like you hear that shit in all the songs and shit like that. People talk about that shit. Look for that person. But when we're talking about people who ain't looking for that or who ain't in the position to accommodate that, then yeah, they're gonna be like, I don't want no bitch who want that from me.
Doesn't it really? Okay, and this is my opinion. It depends. Like with her situation, what she described there, again, 1950s housewife, I don't think too many people would say they were gold diggers.
Right.
But if you're talking about a woman who's like you said, if you pay all my bills and all that, that's fine. But when she starts getting to the point of, and you're going to buy me a diamond necklace, and you're going to buy me the latest fashions, and I will have the most fashionable purse at every time, and a BMW. I think that's when you start getting into a gold digger situation.
Yeah, because you see what her objective is. She's doing all that shit at home for you with the expectation to get nice things in return. I mean, but if that's the arrangement, that's fine. If that's the arrangement and both of y'all have an understanding, who gives a shit? Do what you do. But, you know.
Well, the other part she was talked about, because this was a 2-part video, and I laughed my ass off watching the whole thing. She was talking about how guys who can't even take care of themselves shouldn't be out there looking for a woman that they can't support.
That I don't necessarily disagree with.
Right, yeah.
Oh, but that goes for just about anybody. I've always said that you should you want to be in a position where you want a relationship, not where you need a relationship. And also, if you can't, try not to get into a relationship until you've got most of your own stuff together. Because what good are you going to be to somebody else if you can't take care of yourself first and foremost?
Right.
Well, see, that's actually the part where she lost me.
Okay.
Because she's saying the man shouldn't be out there looking for a woman if he can't support himself. But it's perfectly fine for that woman to be out there not able to support herself.
Yeah.
No. Two-way street. No, sorry. I agree with you to disagree with her on that one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Real quick, over on the Streamlabs. Let me get that up here. Thank you, Jenna. Sassy, being a crippled stay-at-home mom and wife, I'm adopting more children for Scribbles and Monkey to sing happy birthday to, just for that.
Jesus.
Also, give the money to Monkey because reasons. Thank you so much. No, I don't have a problem with a man and a woman getting together, using air quotes, traditional style. Guy goes out, works. She takes care of the kids and the family and the home. All that's fine. I have no problem with that.
Right.
But when you start out with, you can't take care of me, so by the way, I can't take care of myself. So you ain't worth anything to me. There are a lot of very good couples who got together when they didn't have much and they worked it out and made a, they took. You're right, Scribe. You have to take care of something. Your bills still have to be in order. Hopefully your life is on track, but you're at the beginning of your life, Sure. So the idea that he better be able to buy me a Benz at the outset, go fuck yourself, lady.
Yeah, your expectations should be proportional to the circumstances you would expect of somebody at that age. So like if someone's got a good head on their shoulders, they know where they're going to go in life, they got a plan for their college and stuff. They're not making $1 million or anything, but at least they've got, some good principles. That's somewhere you can start from. But when you're on like your late 20s, your 30s, your 40s, etc., if you haven't gotten your life together and you're someone who's looking for a mate, doesn't matter if you're male or female, you have to weigh the fact that whatever problems that this person has are going to become your liabilities if you take them on as a partner. That's just the nature of the beast. Even if they're the greatest person in the world, if they're completely nice, if they're irresponsible or they carry a lot of debt or they've got this problem and that, you really have to say, okay, cost-benefit analysis. It sounds cold, but I'm sorry, a little pragmatism ahead of time can save people a lot of heartache in the long run.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Hang on, guys. I have to use my phone to see what other bucketry I might have because my cousin is over here logged in on my computer. Bucker. He does that to me. Oh, this is one. Yeah, I saw yesterday. Yeah, after, or maybe it was as the show was on. But that's right. I didn't do my fucketry yesterday, so these will be all new. Okay. Shuan had made a video yesterday where she was talking about this.
Oh yeah.
This turf. This turf who believes that women shouldn't put on makeup, they shouldn't shave, and they shouldn't wear, and this is a quote, rape shoes.
Rape shoes.
Now, Scribe, can you guess what rape shoes might be?
I'm guessing they are like high-heeled spike pump type deals.
High heel shoes. That's it. Just high heel shoes.
High heel shoes. All right.
Fucking yeah. Rape shoes and slave paint.
Slave paint.
I love it. Slave paint.
She said that shaving your hair, like when women shave their bodies, it's bodily mutilation.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she said if you shave hair off of your body in any form or fashion, you are less of a woman because that hair is a part of you. It has weight, it has mass, and you are shaving it off of your body, so you are less than a woman.
Is this person a hoe by any chance?
No.
Okay.
That's one of the things that June said at the very beginning. Shoe on head. Sorry, guys. Said at the beginning of her video is that it's sad I have to say this, but this is absolutely real. I went through and checked, and it's, you know, this isn't a Poe account, so I'm trusting her that she dug through it effectively. Anyway, there's this guy on Twitter who was mad that she made the video, and this is what he tweeted. Yes, it's very funny to attack people while having less than stellar opinions, or for having less than stellar opinions, while women are becoming second-class citizens, which many feminists helped to get those rights in the first place.
What?
June has a choice. She can be a lefty, or she can say she's left while attacking them at every chance she gets.
I'm confused.
Well, he goes on later. He's because abortion laws have changed, you know, the ones that will never get implemented. Women have become second-class citizens.
Right.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, things that haven't even taken effect yet and will likely be struck down in the courts have suddenly lessened the largest population of human beings on the planet, as far as gender is concerned, into being second-class citizens.
Yes.
Okay, and Sophie Turner can't defend herself. I forgot.
Right. No, but I read this like, motherfucker, what are you talking about? Second-class citizens. That's retarded. That is literally retarded. I feel like this guy should not be allowed to post without a guardian.
No, he can post all he likes. Shows us the temperament out there.
No, I get what you're saying, and for competent adults, I believe that's true. But I think he should have a helmet and a drool bib so he doesn't short out his keyboard there.
I need to protect women.
That last statement was most interesting to me. You can either say you're left and not criticize anything we do ever, or or you can criticize us and be a traitor. It's like one or the other. You either shut your mouth and don't say anything bad about us ever, and just fully support us unapologetically and robotically, like the media tells you to.
Hates what the fuck? Non-Vitae Rex, thank you. I'd hate to see that person's finger and toenails. Those are part of us too, after all. I don't remember if Shu commented on that, but I don't remember her having exceptionally long fingernails. Huh, that's a good point.
She did showcase her super hairy legs.
Yeah.
Which I have to say was hot.
Now, the final one I want to touch on is Miss Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Uh-oh.
By the way, guys, if you haven't seen Sinatra's newest video, check it out. It showcases her. It says, I'm sure every state passing abortion bans will also be prosecuting ICE officials for the death of premature babies that happen in their custody. Right?
What?
Hang on. Right? Since they intend on jailing doctors, surely they'll jail ICE for the same thing.
The same thing, huh?
Thank you, Dame Piglet. Rather be less of a woman than a werewolf. Indeed, indeed. You know what? The men in your life would rather you be that way too. Yeah, she's actually comparing a baby dying with abortion. Is that really the tact you want to take there, sweetheart? Because if go ahead.
I'm about to say, so somebody crawling, like bleeding, half bleeding to death into your situation or space. And once they get into your space, they're like, I almost made it, and dying. That's the same as saying, I want to kill this thing inside of me.
Yes.
Those are the exact same thing.
Well, she mentions preemie babies, and my point back to her was this. If drugs are injected into that child to purposefully kill it, then yeah, that the ICE folks should be criminally charged with that, because that would literally be murder. The fuck are you talking about, you crazy bitch?
Yeah, that's...
She even said babies. For fuck's sake. This woman is dumb as a rock. Anyhow.
No, she's
I'm
not.
sorry.
You're just a sexist.
I know. Look, I didn't call her a bimbo. The last thing I would... I'll do that in a video. The honey badgers.
Uh-oh. What now?
They're still at it. They started talking shit because SDA blocked them. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, because I knew how the conversation went because me and SDA had been talking.
Yeah.
And they just look like what you say, like the feminists and blue pillars or red pillars, I forget which, and others before them. I've been blocked. I gotta catch them all or some shit like that. I'm like, wait, bitch. She offered to have a debate on her channel with you. Like, tell your fans what really happened here. And she's like, what? What happened? What happened? And then she had the nerve to release half of the conversation. I'm like, no. Release all of it. And I wasn't even the one that got there first. A lot of people were like, wait, where's the rest of that? And turned out to be right. SDA said, let's do it in public. And she goes, I want to do it in private. And SDA, like, fuck it, I'm done. So apparently they are going to have a debate there. Last I saw, they're working it out over on there. So keep an eye out for that. It may happen.
May.
But with that, guys, we are just a minute past time, but it is your time. Questions, comments, concerns, throw them into the chat right now. We'll do our best to catch them all. Don't forget, Satsu and Scribe have new videos out. Make sure you watch them and share them. Also, tonight after the show, we will be over on 2 Cents Plus playing some 7 Days to Die, which is always a good time. So, can you please cancel your Netflix account? No.
No, I got too much Blacklist to watch.
Why would I do that? I like Netflix.
Real quick, I got a donation from Jenna over on Streamlabs. Thank you. She said, because I felt bad for picking on you, I have no idea what you're talking about. But I want to also mention that Sethakar, Prospero, and Flair. Flair has been supporting my channel for 9 months. He's been a sponsor. Prospero has been one for 6 months, and Sethakar has been one for 4 months. Thank you guys for your contributions.
Ghastly goes live with Fright Power at 8 p.m. So before our show, and I don't get to catch all of it because I start getting ready for our stuff. But I went over there. I was able to catch the beginning of it today. It is amazing how many green names he has in his chat. All of you people who support your favorite creators, you're awesome. Thank you for doing that. Whether it's me, Scribe, Satsu, anyone, that is really cool of you guys.
Oh, I forgot to mention, tomorrow I'll be on Comic Book Curation, so watch for that on
Polydub's
channel. Yeah.
What time?
I think it's a special episode because they had a scheduling conflict that made them miss an episode this week. I think it's in I forget. I think it's in the morning-ish my time or afternoon Eastern time. I don't know. I'll post it as soon as I get it again.
Follow Polydub and Scribbles over on Twitter so that you know when it goes live. Lords of the Night, what do you think of the new sparkly Batman? Didn't we get asked that yesterday?
Yep, we did. Like I said, Pattinson's not a bad actor. It depends on, the direction he gets and the script that he's given. If you watch him in things other than Twilight, he can be a good actor. So I don't think he'll do necessarily a bad job. It all depends on how Matt Reeves uses him as a director.
I'm not a fan of his acting. I think he's got a giant head. I think he's going to look ridiculous as Batman.
And he's going to buff out, though. So he might look a little different.
He looks like a Q-tip. I'm sorry. Why can't men have no say if they should or should not have an abortion? Because they're not the ones that are going to have to carry the child. So when it comes to that, I mean, look, if there's going to be abortion, it does. I mean, it has to be her choice. And if there's going to be an abortion, they need to give men a choice to walk away, which I wouldn't do as a man. But I mean, got to be fair about it. Is Sophie Turner the ultimate bimbo? No, not by far. Not by far. We've seen much dumber shit said by women online. We've seen much dumber shit said by men online. I mean, she probably didn't even know the abortion laws, and she only cares because this became a topic du jour.
Right.
That's what made her stupid here. I mean, she may be a very intelligent woman. She just made herself look dumb here.
If she looked up the human rights situation in every country prior to accepting a job, I might have some respect for that. It's like, yeah, I don't want to, you know, promote or give my patronage or anything else to places that I don't agree with. Like, okay, well, you know, that's principle. But this, yeah, sorry, doesn't wash.
Yeah, she only did this because it became a big topic, and yeah, it's fuck her. What was the drama between SDA and the Honey Badgers? Well, actually,
just explain it.
Actually, it was a drama between the Honey Badgers and me that they punked out of and started going after anybody else that said anything. And every time I would talk, they'd be like, "I missed what you said." I'm sure you did. I was verbally bitch slapping you up and down Twitter all day. But they decided to take the event of Memorial Day and try to turn it into a men's rights thing. And they disrespected all of the women who've died for this country in doing so. And I was not pleased with that. And a lot of people weren't pleased with it. And one of those people who wasn't pleased with it was SDA. And they decided, let's argue about this. Excuse me. And a whole bunch of their sycophants did the same thing. And so SDA is like, fine, let's do it. And then she's like, well, let's do it in private. And SDA is like, nope. So there you go. Can you please, they are trying to bully pro-life states by boycotting them. They have every right to boycott anything they want to.
Yeah. They could, I mean, Disney and Netflix and all those guys, they can move their productions wherever they want for whatever reason they want. It's fine.
Yeah. There's no fucking, makes no big deal to me. I don't boycott shit. If I like something, I'm still I don't give a fuck what the people in charge say. Do you know what the people at Twitter think? Did you watch that fucking Rogan interview?
Yeah.
I still like Twitter. I think, I don't think they work. I really don't.
Boycotts?
Yeah, boycotts. There's very few of them that are successful in any way. You're not changing somebody's mind. I mean, it's basically a punishment. And I don't think that's how you change minds. Because we talked about this, I can't remember if it was on this show or on Monkey in the Morning, but what you're saying is the whole state of Georgia is going to be like, uh-oh, we're losing money. We better let people abort. And if that's the stance they take, then what they're saying is money is more important to us than a child, because that's what they tell us. They believe this is actually a child being murdered. And what you're saying is, I have a buyout point for child murder.
Well, it's setting a price on your principles, regardless.
Yes, exactly.
It could be children. It could be, I don't know, whatever. But either way, yeah, that's the thing where there's not going to be any movement on that.
In this case, I point that out because that to me is the extreme of it.
Right.
I mean, this would be like something I would bring up, as a point on something else as an extreme, but here we are. So yeah, if Georgia caves on this, what they're basically saying is, yeah, our principles have a price. There you go. So we'll see what happens. Did you see Van Jones claimed a study found 40% of homeless children identify as transgender? I didn't, but I wouldn't be surprised he said that.
I've heard that statistic before, and I have a vague memory of having to look that up for a different video I did. I don't know if, at least from the study and the methods they use, I don't know that's necessarily inaccurate, but then I haven't done a major, in-depth look at it, so I don't know.
Well, what as far as I know, that study, what they're talking about is that when they say children, they're talking teens at this point.
Right.
It's not 5-year-olds.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So it's teens who run away from home because they don't feel supported and loved, or maybe even feel actually ostracized in their own house.
Right.
Does that count for most of them, or for 40%? I don't know. If a blue check mark tweets and nobody is following, are they still wrong? Yes. 900% yes. Monkey, I'll be canceling Netflix soon once they start to pull their business from Georgia over politics. And remember, Obama's on their board. I'll cancel. That's your choice. I'm not telling anybody else not to do it. I'm just not going to do it. I'm lazy as fuck.
Y'all are free to do whatever y'all want, and I'm going to keep watching anime.
Yeah, I'm lazy as fuck, man. I don't want to put in a new disc of Friends every time the next one is over. Fuck that. It's a convenience to me, and I don't much care about their politics.
Yeah, none of these companies actually give a fuck about it. Like, if they truly felt, whatever way they claim to feel at that time or whatever, then maybe I'd give it more thought. But they don't care. They're just doing whatever's profitable for them at the time. And that's the shit about. There is no telling what fucking atrocities these companies are responsible for behind the scenes. So at this point, who cares?
Well, there are people who've stopped watching me because they didn't like one of my opinions. Like, cool, knock yourself. Look, I mean, if you feel that strongly about something, knock yourself out. I mean, I appreciate principles, but we're gonna have different ones. Chicago Mike says, "Who is your favorite Batman villain from the Adam West Batman TV series?"
Frank Gorshin is the Riddler, probably.
Dude, Riddler's my favorite. I always loved when he was on.
Yeah, Gorshin was great. I did like Cesar. Actually, all the core characters. Cesar Romero's Joker, Burgess Meredith's Penguin. Although I have a weird place in my heart for Vincent Price's Eggman or Egghead, Egghead, whatever his name was. Yeah, because that was just like, it was so bizarre. I was just like, that's Vincent Price. He's wearing a cone head mask, essentially. That's so bizarre.
Do you have one, Satsu?
I didn't see it. So
okay. Mine is the Riddler too. I wanted to guess his riddles before Batman could get them.
Yes.
But unfortunately, they were so fucking weird.
Sometimes they were, yeah. Sometimes they weren't so much. It depended, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. Sometimes they were like, it's down by the dock. Oh, it must be down by the dock.
I really wanted his suit, like his Riddler suit, not the leotard one. That was fine, but when he actually wore the suit, I was like, oh man, I want that cool suit.
All right, let's see.
I really like the Riddler in Gotham, the show. The Riddler and the Penguin in that show, for whatever reason, like, I really like them quite a bit.
Scribe, I know you said you weren't interested in watching it, but did you know they even used Godzilla music from the Japanese Godzilla films in Godzilla King of Monsters?
I did not know that. I wouldn't be surprised. They've done a lot of homage stuff to the past incarnations of characters. Like if you listen to certain musical cues in Justice League, you'll hear the original Batman theme from the Tim Burton movie. When Batman shows up, you also hear the original Superman theme when Superman shows up, little cue of it. So, yeah, people are remembering where things came from in different places, which is kind of nice.
Excuse me. AOC is so stupid she doesn't understand. She's conceding the point of pro-lifers, admitting it's a baby, not a clump of cells. Yeah, you're right. You're right. She does things like that a lot because she's not very smart.
Well, there's a lot of things that confuse me about people who do that. It's like, because I'd like to ask that person, if you hear somebody had a miscarriage, what would your response be? You'd be like, oh, I'm sorry for your loss. Oh, that's so terrible. And that person would feel bad. You would try to console them. I 100% guarantee you're not going to be like, so? It wasn't a baby anyway. It was just a lump of cells. Calm down. Just have another one.
There are people out there who try to compare the two and like, well, if you're going to lock up a woman who has an abortion, you better lock up the ones who have miscarriages. And like, what? And yeah. Petite Nikoko just a little while ago on Twitter, she's talking about she's had arguments with people recently who are talking about how a fetus is basically the same as the unfertilized egg that falls out of a woman during her period, and how they should be digging through their pads to find it.
Yeah, that those comparisons are retarded, because it's just like, well, if you're gonna lock up a woman for strangling her baby and killing it in the bathtub, then you might as well lock up someone whose baby died accidentally, or whose kid, died accidentally. It's like, you sound retarded.
There's people out there who think they get a good point in their head.
Yeah,
and
just
they don't put real thought into it. And then they go out and they say it, and it gives me things to laugh at. So, looking for questions. There we go. Scribe, I watched Reanimator, was very good. What happened to Herbert West at the end, though?
Well, he comes back for Reanimator 2. Or Bride of Reanimator, sorry. He got pulled into the the other dimension or something. It is relatively close to the original story. And if you guys want to hear like one of the best audiobooks ever, find Jeffrey Combs's reading of Herbert West Reanimator. Might be on YouTube. His voice, his intonations, the way he tells that story is so fucking creepy. Just listen to it like in the dark. It's basically a creepypasta all by itself. But yeah, at the end of Reanimator, he gets kind of pulled into the, I don't know, the afterlife or the dimension of death or hell or something. And then he kind of reappears in Bride of Reanimator because they just sort of wrote him as surviving that somehow.
I believe it was you who recommended it, but I bought a comic recently. I bought Craven's Last Hunt.
Oh, Craven's, yeah.
It was on brand new copy over on Amazon, was like $13, man.
Was it the collection?
Yeah.
Okay. And?
Well, it's the graphic novel.
Oh, okay. And what'd you think?
I still haven't read it. I just wanted to let you know, like you, Jack, and Polly have like inspired me to go back into comics in a weird way together. And I'm not collecting new ones.
Right. No. We collect the ones that we already know are good.
Yes, that's what I'm looking at.
Collect the ones that are worth collecting. Yeah.
But I'm poor, so I actually had set out to look at the Venom ones, because I love Venom and Spider-Man and all that. And I saw that one, I'm like, Scribe mentioned that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I won't give nothing away, but it's really good. Give it a shot.
Let's see. Where are we at here? No, that's not for us. What's your favorite type of bread?
Sourdough, probably most times.
Warm banana bread with butter on it.
Oh, that's a hard one to pass up, Monkey.
Right?
I like that Hawaiian bread, the buns.
Oh, the one. My family, we were sitting there, we were eating those one night. And I'm like, all I can taste is the pineapple in this. And they're like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, the pineapple taste in here. It's all I can taste. Like, there's no pineapple in here. I'm like, yes, there. And then so they went and read the ingredients and like, damn it, now that's all I can taste too. I love them. I think they're great. But yeah, that one was very pineapple-y. I know you don't like to boycott, but there are better alternatives. You can use Amazon, Hulu, or even pirate them online for free. Look, dude, you're not going to convince me to boycott. I get you want to, but you're not going to. By the way, I have Amazon and Hulu. We have a lot of little children in the house, and to find all of their favorite cartoons, well, we don't have them in the house now because Little Butt's gone, but we have two little children that come to the house often. And Grandpa likes to make sure they can watch what they want. How would the American government be different if we had a monarchy?
Well, according to some, we have one right now.
That's true.
Yeah. There's been a couple of sort of speculative fiction novels that deal with questions like that. There's one called The Two Georges by Harry Turtledove, and strangely enough, co-written by Richard Dreyfuss. which says that the American Revolution never happened, and George Washington and King George came to an accord where America is essentially a protectorate of the Britain, sort of like Canada is. So we're ruled by the king. It's a very interesting alternate history novel. I'll give it that.
The Bill of Rights wouldn't exist. That's how.
That too, yeah.
Lords of the Night, why is it always boycotts? How come not girl cots? Are they sexist? Yes.
Yes. The answer is yes.
Well played, MASH.
Because the guys, the outdoors are sexist. Okay, I have proof. It's in the video I just posted.
I watched Godzilla King of Monsters and I got teary-eyed in spots. Are there movies or TV shows you've seen that affected you emotionally that you didn't expect to? Yes, absolutely.
Well, yeah, the end of The Iron Giant always makes me cry. Never fails. I got really emotional at very different points in Endgame just because, you know, there were so many things that paid off after so many different other movies and things I noticed and storylines that wrapped up or were very satisfying in that way. And then, of course, at the end of The Dirty Dozen, when he drops the grenades down the ventilation pipe, it kills all the Nazis. It was so beautiful.
Satsu?
For me, as a kid, the first movie that actually impacted me emotionally was probably the first Pokemon movie. Everybody talks about that whenever, because it was like the closest like that a cartoon that I was watching at the time had came to death, you know, like addressing actual death.
Right.
And, you know, I had been watching Pokemon for a really long time. So I'm like, holy shit, like that just happened. I mean, of course, you know, if you've seen that movie, you know what the end result was, but still, outside of that, plenty of fucking anime. There's plenty of shows that I can name that almost made me expend some of my leftover man tears for the year.
Yeah, my wife took the kids to see Pokemon. I was working, and at that part you're talking about, she's like, everyone was crying.
Dude, the whole fucking theater was
place.
bawling.
Yes.
I'm like, holy shit. And that was like a determining factor for me because I was already kind of welling up, and then I'm like, wait, everybody else is crying? Okay, cool.
No, I mean that's a hard thing to drop on kids, and that was a kid's movie, but yeah. For me, I did not expect the end of Armageddon to hit me the way it did. But when she says daddy, oh my god.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it, I'm like, but other than that, the show Scrubs, they did a great job on that show with mixing comedy and drama. But there are 3 scenes in that whole show that even thinking about it, I'm like, god damn, it'll just rip your heart out. It's in season 3, season 5, and season 8. Yeah, season 8. You'll know them when you see them. I'm not going to talk more about them. Sorry, yeah, I got to get back to questions. Have you gotten any word from Disney on your video? Oh, massive. They released that yesterday. So it's up there, but because of they had it down during the time it would have got most of its views, it's got about half the views that my other ones have recently.
That's why those things need to be shared. So share stuffs, guys.
Why are liberal boycotts supported, but conservative boycotts are seen as snowflake retards? Look who controls your media, dude. I mean, Donald Trump talks shit about Meghan Merkel. There you go. Am I the only one who found the honey badger back and forth argument so much fun? Their replies to me showed their oblivious delusion. I had fun in that argument, but I have fun in all my Twitter arguments. It's kind of a hallmark of who I am.
I'm back.
How would the American government be different if there were monarchy as in a king or queen?
Well,
we would have a king or queen.
Yeah, it would depend at what point in history events diverged to make that happen, and what things existed, what events had already happened, etc. And Yeah, like so, there's a few good speculative fiction books out there about that notion. So that's about as good as I could recommend for an idea.
Yeah, and we would. I don't know what you're asking if you're thinking like England has a queen right now, but the only reason they don't have a king is because she wouldn't give him the title, right?
Well, she hasn't died yet.
Well, no, Prince George. Is that his name? No, Edward. I forget. I'm pretty sure Bears told me, she refused to like let him have that title.
Prince Charles?
No. Her husband.
Oh, her husband. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because she is married.
Right. Yes.
And the way we
Philip,
think,
isn't it
Philip? Philip. That's it. Yes.
Yes.
The way we think of kings and queens is, you marry the queen, you become king, and that can happen. But she's like, "Fuck you, man. This is my throne." And again, I'm just trying to remember what I saw or what she's told me. Scribbles, did you see the new Jim Jones thing?
I don't know what you're talking about, so the answer is no.
There you go. Best type of fruit for a cake.
Well,
None.
I mean, apple makes for good cakes, depending.
Strawberry's not bad. Apple's good too. Yeah.
Yeah, strawberry. I had a strawberry cake, somebody's birthday cake, and it was delicious.
Chocolate.
Chocolate's not a fruit.
It is now.
Okay.
Isn't Georgia's economy based mostly on agriculture? If so, does that mean Alyssa Milano is going to ban Georgia produce? I really haven't looked into it. To be honest,
no more peaches for Alyssa.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I do know they do make some money off the movie industry though.
Oh yeah, no, Georgia's like one of those neo Hollywood backlot places now because different areas of Georgia can serve as so many different terrains for things where things are set. So,
okay, we've got 4 minutes left, guys, and this just jumped on me again. So we're just gonna go with ones I can see down here. Where are we at? Satsu, how do you feel about OPM and AOT so far?
One Punch Man and Attack on Titan. They're pretty good. The newest seasons that came out in the episodes have been trickling out. This last episode of Attack on Titan was like, oh shit. It was one of those episodes where shit got real fucking real. But One Punch Man has been funny. I'm just mad that the show has been, I think they're like 6 episodes in, and it really hasn't had anything to do with One Punch Man all that much. Like, he hasn't been doing a lot of punching in this show, like at all. Really, it's
like you had like one job,
right? One fucking job. So I don't know. It's about to get interesting this next episode though, but it's fine. I'm more interested in the newest episode of Shield Hero, where that bitch finally got what was coming to her. You guys remember I told you about the anime that people thought was controversial because the dude got accused of rape or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it finally came full circle, and that the chick who accused him finally got exposed and got what was coming to her, which was so lovely.
There it was. Is it fair to say fuck any Yank that defects to being a limey? No, anybody that would want to, that's where they should go. If they don't like their freedoms, let them go back to the queen.
Yeah.
Satsu, which ramen are you going to try first?
I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet.
God, how does my chat jump when I'm near the bottom? Jesus, fuck. Anyone see that picture of Blair for Pride Month on Twitter? I did. She did her eyes up in rainbow.
Yep.
Just for the record, I care about as much about Pride Month as I do any other month. I don't care. Satsu, tell him your new legal name is SH. Thank you, Snubber. What is SH?
In SH?
Just SH. Or name in SH.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
What's SH?
Shield Hero?
Shield Hero, maybe?
Oh, her new legal name. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, her legal name.
Okay, that's why I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Sorry.
So damn, I don't know if this is spoilers for people who've seen it. Either way, she is now legally and by law, and everybody who interacts with her has to address her as bitch. Her mother changed her legal name to bitch, and they was like, well, what if she's on a quest? Because she goes by a different name when she's on missions. It was like, oh, in that case, call her slut. So like that's her punishment. She's still a princess, but she basically got stripped of all of her authority. And now when anybody addresses her, and it's a law, like she actually wrote it into law, like you are to address her as either bitch or slut at any given moment. And that was pretty much worse than death for her.
And thank you, William Savage. Loved last night's show. I'll watch this later. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And it is 11 p.m., folks. That means it's time for us to leave. Don't forget, you can come watch me and Satsu over on 2 Cents Plus right after this, playing some 7 Days to Die. Scribbles is going to be on Comic Book Curation over on Polydub's channel sometime tomorrow. Follow him on Twitter. Make sure you're following Poly on Twitter as well, so you can know when that is, because the time is not quite set in stone. And I think that's everything, right?
Well, the time might be set in stone. I just forget what it is right now.
Well, there you go. Scribe and Satsu, thank you both so much for joining me. Everybody, don't forget to follow Angry Monkey over on Twitter, because my cousin likes to tweet. Your lives make us sad. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Today's secret word is bimbo.